All right, welcome back to Hannity here now with reaction to my opening monologue. NRA TV contributor and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino also with us. All right, this book is amazing, and Geraldo has lived 1,000 lives in one. Your stuff about war and your background, nearly 50 years in media, and it's just incredible. And there's so many memories I have in this book, and I congratulate you.
Thank you, brother.
It's just out in bookstores everywhere, on my website, Hannity.com and Amazon.com. All right. Okay, so the president, is it not a national security issue?
Now we'll fight.
Probably.
I love him like a brother. We
Is
disagree.
it not national security to stop drugs, gangs, and potential terrorists
Yes.
from entering our country?
Yes.
So the president, as commander-in-chief, should have the authority to fund the wall with national defense monies.
Well, the problem is when you are now messing with the allocation for the Department of Defense, this is not specifically their bailiwick. It would require, not a bad idea, and not a bad justification.
But he's the commander-in-chief, right?
But you really need a congressional law apportioning where the money goes. If you had a specific law,
for national defense.
If he could get Congress to agree to pass a law, then I would agree. But not by executive fiat. I don't think he can.
But the problem is, Dan Bongino, he's the commander-in-chief, not Paul Ryan or Chuck Schumer or anybody in Congress. He's the commander-in-chief, and he deems this is a national security issue, which it is. He would be able to appropriate those funds, and I think he's going to do it.
Sean, any rational person would conclude that this is a national security decision. It is not a secret to anyone other than blind liberals that narco traffickers and international terrorists have long been taking advantage of our poorest, nearly non-existent in some cases, southern border. This is a ground ball bunt decision. I applaud him if he decides to go forward with it. It's the right decision.
Yeah.
I just have one thing to say about the wall. I was at a Cleveland Cavaliers game, go Cavs, and they had a T-shirt gun that they shot up into the upper deck.
I love
so you're going to build this $25 billion wall, and some drug dealer with one of those T-shirt guns are going to shoot the piles of fentanyl over the wall. I think the wall won't stop the drugs. It won't stop the pros. It will stop Juan and Maria, the apricot pickers. But still,
that argument,
if you want to say... I think
that's nonsense, Geraldo. That argument's not used for anything else. You know, we don't say that about homicide laws. We don't say, well, you know, homicide law is going to cause a slight obstruction because if you kill someone, they may have to spend some time in prison too. You don't enact a law for the purpose of absolutely black and white stopping inactivity. You make it more difficult. So that argument that, oh, well, they're just going to build a ladder. Okay, build a ladder. Then we'll build a higher wall, and then you go build a higher ladder. That's how this works. It's not a black or white issue.
I said to the President of the United States himself, I said, you can make a deal. You want the wall? And a majority of the voters in the states that mattered said they want the wall. You want the wall? Good. Get the $25 billion to build the wall and give me 1.6 million dreamers a path to citizenship.
He already offered that.
That was a deal. That was a deal that can be made today. But everyone started adding stuff, you know, chain migration and cutting down on legal immigration. And one, they larded it up. You could make a deal today. I think they should make a deal today. A lot of people want the wall. Let them build the wall. If you want to spend the $25 billion instead of on schools and highways and so forth, listen, I'm okay with it as long as you give these kids some security.
Trump didn't run on DACA. Trump ran on building the wall. This is no mystery. You know it. I know it.
But
You're
the
a smart
Democrats
guy.
were offered
it was
that.
in almost
offered
every
DACA.
speech.
And by the way, the one thing about fentanyl being shot over with the Cleveland Cavaliers T-shirt, it's funny. But here's the thing. The wall, according to agents, and the president's looking at prototypes, they're going to be able to see through. And they'll be able to know if they're on the other side. And if they're on the other side, our agents will be all over them.
But don't you agree? Why not make a simple deal? A simple deal. You got the dreamers, which are going to be a sore on the president's side.
The Democrats don't want it. The Democrats do not want a deal. They want to run on it in 2018.
Because the Republicans have offered them a 3-year amnesty for the dreamers, not a path to citizenship.
The president offered DACA in exchange for 3 things: chain migration and the visa lottery, which we know there are flaws in it because of recent attacks. And he said he wants the wall.
Can I...
No, you're not
I hate to. Can I just change this? Wait, Dan, hold on a second.
Okay.
I want to say something that we all agree on now. I think that I've caught the New York Times in one of the most egregious acts of partisanship you will ever hear about, and I think that too many people let this go unnoted. The headline in yesterday's New York Times about Stormy Daniels reads, adult film star feared for safety of daughter after Trump threat. After Trump threat. Headline, front page, New York Times, not after alleged Trump threat, not after purported Trump threat, not after supposed Trump threat. It said after Trump threat. The New York Times has abandoned all pretense of objectivity toward the 45th president of the United States. You can disagree about walls and so forth, but this is absolutely scurrilous.
Last word, Dan.
Yeah, well, Geraldo, I just on the path to citizenship part, I don't know why you assume that should be part of anything. You entered the country illegally, and I always ask this question. I'll ask it of you. Think about this when you're sleeping tonight, Geraldo. What do you tell people like my wife who came to the country legally, busted their butts,
How many
spent
years did it
thousands of
take her?
dollars on lawyers? It took her a long time, and it was an awful process. What do you say to those people if they could have come here illegally and gotten the exact same
Geraldo.
thing?
Okay, quick.
Kid comes 6 months old in his mother's arms, has nothing to say about it. Grows up,
We're not talking about
the whole
kids.
life in America.
All right.
What, are you going to throw this kid out to a country the kid never knew? I think it's
Geraldo's book.
Parents shouldn't have brought him here.
An amazing
shame on
life
the New York
lived.
Times. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
For being
Thank
with us.
you.
And thank you, Dan. All right, as we've been explaining, the media has proven they will stoop to new lows, as Geraldo was just describing, to destroy and, of course, delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency.